This season has been an absolute disaster so far. And the cherry on top, we already have players that are saying that they want to be traded. What is going on, guys? What is going on, 27 Squad? Welcome back into another video. This video is being sponsored by the good people of BetUS. Make sure you guys check out BetUS for a 150% sign-up bonus up to $2,000 on your first 3 deposits. One of the best deals you can come across on a sportsbook right now. They're sponsoring the channel all throughout the season. Shout out to them, and make sure you guys check out BetUS for all your betting odds. All right, so let's get down to it. Listen, there's a big story that came out according to ESPN, and you know who writes for ESPN that covers the Giants? Jalin Hyatt. Now, I've had mixed feelings about Jalin Hyatt in the past. I used to really like him. Then I can't even remember why I didn't like him anymore. It was during the 2020 season. And then I've kind of come up to him again. But he wrote a story covering Jalin Hyatt and kind of the struggles that has been happening. And I thought it was a good read. But he just snitched on Jalin Hyatt. Now, the biggest thing, it's a long article. It's just pretty much covering how Jalin Hyatt has been underutilized this season. He's kind of went down in the depth chart since about the second preseason game. We all noticed that Jalin Hyatt was slated to be the second receiver starting opposite Malik Neighbors, but it just seems like, I guess, maybe in camp, maybe the coaching staff said, hey, we don't think Jalin Hyatt is ready yet. And Darius Slayton is still a damn good receiver. It just doesn't make sense to put Darius Slayton on the back burner and let Jalin Hyatt start, even though we know Slayton is better. And to be honest with you, it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense why Slayton is starting over Jalin Hyatt. What doesn't make sense is how Hyatt is not in the rotation or the game plan whatsoever. Now, this is the exact thing that I was worried about when the Giants drafted Jalin Hyatt in the 3rd round. You guys can pull up my reaction to it. I felt like he is too much of a situational receiver where you kind of have to put everybody else aside and scheme him open to get anything out of him. Not that he's a bad receiver, but he has a certain skill set that really is not very versatile. As much as the Giants can try to get that versatility out of him, make him a better route runner, make him a lot more versatile in the inside-outside game, similar to what they did with Darius Slayton. Darius Slayton was literally just a deep threat that had terrible hands, and look at the receiver he became. He can line up inside-outside, he can run deep routes, short intermediate routes, and his hands have gotten a lot better. So I really thought that can be the same path that Jalin Hyatt takes, and he's a better prospect, and he was definitely a better deep threat in college. But I really don't know what's been going on with Jalin Hyatt. Every time we see him in training camp, the preseason, on the limited time that we've seen him, he's made plays. He's been doing all right. Even going back to last year, I mean, when his number was called, he was there to answer. But putting my previous thoughts about Jalin Hyatt aside, I still thought that he still should be put in this rotation. He's a guy that we now have. We got to use him. Not to mention the Giants did trade up for him and gave up a 4th round pick in that draft to get Jalin Hyatt. So this article is just a whole bunch of snitching on Jalin Hyatt. Because according to multiple sources, this is the big thing that went off on Twitter was just this one little paragraph. And that paragraph said, there was a moment late in the summer when it appeared this might go sideways. Unhappy with the situation, Hyatt said during practice that if the Giants weren't going to use him, they should trade him. Multiple team sources told ESPN. Now, as far as team sources go, that can be anything. That can be beat writers. That can be coaching staff. I don't think he would tell a beat writer or coaching staff that if the Giants aren't going to use him, to just trade him. I don't think he would say that, and I don't think the coaching staff or beat writers would. I don't think the coaching staff would tell anybody that. It could be the players. It could be, like he said this.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a fake story. You know, I feel like somebody's out to get me or something. I didn't say anything about not wanting to be here. Like I said, man, I love it here, and we're doing the right things, right steps to get to where we want to get to as a team, and that's my focus.
Said maybe somebody's out to get him. Somebody's getting something on him. It could be a player or two that whispered something to Jalin Hyatt, or whispered something to another beat writer who told Jalin Hyatt something happened. But I guarantee you Jalin Hyatt said this, because hell, anybody would. Anybody would. If you're not being utilized, if they brought you in for something and you're not being utilized, I mean, just trade me, So honestly, the way that wording was put, it really seemed like, hey, Jalin Hyatt was frustrated. He may have told a couple of players what he thought. He may have told, he just spoke his mind a little bit, like, hey, bro, like, listen, that's crazy. They're not using me. If they're not going to use me, then, like, why don't they just trade me? He probably said that to some people he thought he can trust, and one of them may have snitched over to ESPN or a beat writer that then told Jordan Raanan. I think he said this because he said this.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a fake story. I feel like somebody's out to get me or something.
Now, I'll be completely honest with you. That is a really weird answer to address a false report or you're addressing something that wasn't said. Saying that I don't feel like that's true, my man, it's about you. It's about what you said. Did you say it or did you not say it? Now, I really think while he said that, like, I don't feel like that's true, because I think he did say those words. He was thinking about that, and he did say those words. He's just trying to figure out how that report leaked. He's trying to figure out who it reached, because he knows that he didn't tell a beat writer. He knows he didn't tell ESPN. He knows he probably didn't say it out of his circle. He must have said it inside his circle, and somebody leaked it. And not only that, Jordan Raanan put Jalin Hyatt on blast and said that he didn't shower after the Minnesota game because he only had 15 snaps. That's like having a day off of work and still not showering because you're home all day. You're like, I didn't go anywhere. Bro just put him on blast, and that was so unnecessary to say that the man just didn't shower. That's messed up, bro. In all seriousness, I do believe Jalin Hyatt said this, but I don't blame him for saying it. Like I said, if I'm being brought in to do a certain job and now they're not using me to do that job, put me somewhere else where I can be more useful, where I can be more valuable. And we hear it talked about all over sports, basketball, football, maybe even baseball, but I don't care about baseball to know that. But in any sport, if you're not going to use me, just get rid of me and I'll be so valuable to somebody else. I don't blame him for saying that. I really question why he's not put into the rotation. You even got, like, say Chris Manhertz, for example. I don't think he's a fantastic blocker. He's always on the field over guys like Daniel Bellinger. I think there's a clear problem with playing time that the Giants are experiencing right now with Brian Daboll. I don't know who is responsible here, and I don't know the reason. I don't know if Jalin Hyatt or Daniel Bellinger, I'll bunch him in there. I don't know if they just suck in practice. We don't know that. I'm not going to sit here and act like, wow, the Giants coaching staff, shame on them for not playing Jalin Hyatt. I don't know if Jalin Hyatt has been, like, dropping every single pass that's thrown his way. That Minnesota game, he dropped the only target that he was thrown. Now, I do understand that. Do not get me wrong. I'm a flag football veteran for a number of years now. I know what it's like to not get in the flow of things, and you don't get targeted all game. It's late in the fourth quarter. You finally get a target, and you drop an easy one because you're just not in it. You're not in it. You haven't played all game. This is your only moment, and you drop it. I understand that. But let's not pretend that Jalin Hyatt has some amazing hands and he's always been so ultra consistent. Maybe he's just not performing. It could be as simple as that. If not, we'll see where it goes. But Hyatt, you look at his body language and stuff. I'm not trying to be like CSI investigator or anything like that, but like you just look at his body. He doesn't look involved. Like he doesn't look like he's in it right now. His head is probably somewhere else. Not saying that's a bad thing, but when you're kind of left out of the group, you're gonna feel like that. So I don't know what to make of this, man. He denies it, but his answer in denying it tells me that he did it, and he's just trying to figure out, how the hell that type of information got leaked. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. Do you think Jalin Hyatt actually said that, or do you think this is just another false report trying to drive up clicks by ESPN or Jordan Raanan or whoever it is that fed Jordan Raanan that information? But that being said, thank you to BetUS for sponsoring this video. Make sure you check out BetUS for 150% bonus up to $2,000 on your first. That's right, 3 deposits. I am KB, and I will see you guys in the next video. Woo!